I call this meeting to order on August 23rd, 2021 at 7:30 PM. I'll take roll call of the trustees at this time. Trustee Linden?
Present.
Trustee Britz?
Present.
Trustee Bashaw?
Here.
Trustee Johnston?
Here.
Thank you. Could we please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes, please.
Whereas members of this board present at this meeting have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees regular meeting of August 9th, 2021. Now therefore be it resolved that the board hereby approves the minutes as entered into the official minutes, and be it further resolved that the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Can I have a second? Okay. There's been a motion, a second, for approval of the minutes. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to move into an executive session to discuss personnel issues with the fire, police, park and rec, and other legal matters.
And I'd also, before, to include in that, to discuss proposed, pending, or current litigation.
Second.
There's been a motion, a second, to enter into executive session. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried. We'll make this short, folks. We won't be long. Yeah, downstairs into the conference room.
So we're gonna.
Like old times. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. I just want to let everybody know no action was taken in executive session, and we'll open this up to public portion now.
This portion of the meeting is for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak, once recognized, shall stand at the microphone and state their name and address. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes if speaking for themselves, or 5 minutes if speaking on behalf of a group. I will ask the speakers to refrain from remarks that are in poor taste, slanderous, or not germane to any action taken or contemplated by the board.
Thank you. Would anybody like to address the board? You're on.
Sam Gray, village resident. I noticed on the agenda, there's a bond resolution relative to the water treatment plant. And there was a sentence in there that I think, I don't know if you read it or not, but there is a sentence in there that states, and it's a resolution that the board needs to state. It says, be it resolved by the affirmative vote of not less than a majority of the total voting strength of the village board of the Village of Fredonia as follows. There's something that's left off. That's the resolve that you have to recite that in the resolution. That it was adopted by at least an affirmative vote of the entire village board. Actually, this is a bond resolution, so it'll be a supermajority vote, or 4 affirmative votes is needed when you have a bond resolution. So in Fredonia, we have a 5-member board. And the total voting strength is 5. And a majority of the 5 is needed to pass any resolution, a minimum of 3. Bond resolution, as I mentioned, is 4. Now, why do they want such assurance in a bond resolution? because that's what Section 41 of the New York State General Construction Law requires to pass a resolution. And the bonding attorneys want assurance from the village of that fact, as the bonding attorneys will have to write an opinion letter to lenders that the village proceedings to borrow the money was legally adopted. In any event, the bonding resolution, I think, is going to need to be worked on a little bit because there's a paragraph or something is missing at the bottom.
Okay.
Now, there are opinions, legal opinions from Albany that I gathered that address this whole question of voting requirements. What can the village do and what it can't do? There's opinions from the state comptroller, from the New York State Attorney General, from the New York State Committee on Open Government. In 2008, the Attorney General of the State of New York stated a majority of the total authorized membership constituted a quorum, and a majority vote of the total authorized membership was necessary to take action, not a majority of the members present. In 2001, the Attorney General of the State of New York again stated that a city charter may not be amended and its rules may not be used to establish quorum or voting requirements that are not in accordance with New York State Section 41 of the General Construction Law, which requires a majority vote of the entire membership, not the sitting board. What this local law is attempting to do is to state in the case, local law number 2, in the case of appointing a trustee to fill a vacancy, that you want to reduce the voting requirements to say a quorum is 3 and that a majority of the 3 can pass a resolution, a majority of the 3. That's contrary to state law. You can't do that. And there's opinions from Albany, from the state comptroller, the Attorney General, and the Committee on Local Government that reiterate that time and again. And I'm concerned you're going to be taking action on a local law which violates state law, the General Construction Law, which requires the total membership of 5 to have at least 3. That is state law. You can't change that. As I mentioned, one of the Attorney General opinions said a city charter may not amend its rules by establishing a quorum or voting requirements not in accordance with state law. Another Attorney General opinion stated that Section 41 of the New York State General Construction Law was to ensure that before official action was taken, there must be a clear and express approval by a majority of its members, all its members. The Attorney General concluded in this specific case that it looked at that the laws of the state of New York, Section 41 of the General Construction Law, are controlling, not Robert's Rules of Order, and that the council must have the affirmative vote of a majority of the whole council to adopt a resolution, not a majority of the sitting members. Those were Attorney General opinions. Also, the New York State Comptroller, in a 1990 opinion, stated, quote, a town may not adopt a local law inconsistent with any general law of the state of New York. And since General Construction Law, Section 41, is a general law, a town may not adopt a local law which is inconsistent with Section 41, which requires an affirmative vote by a majority of the entire board, not the sitting board. The state comptroller then stated, quote, in our opinion, a town may not adopt a local law inconsistent with the state law. The state comptroller went on to state that a local law which purports to authorize a majority of a committee present at a meeting to act instead of a majority of the whole membership would be inconsistent with state law, and towns are not authorized, same would apply to the village, to act by a majority of the quorum present. You can't change that state. That's a state law. It's a uniform state law. You can't change it, and this local law will attempt to do that. In my opinion.
3 minutes is up, Sam.
Yeah, and I need a couple minutes just to finish up. Further, in 1988, the New York State.
You know what though? Excuse me.
We've heard it. We've heard it. Over
Okay,
and
you know
over
what,
and over
though?
You
again.
haven't, Eva. This
We
is something
have,
I haven't
Sam.
said.
Okay.
We
Let me
read the
finish.
email.
Okay.
Let me finish what I'm
First of
saying.
all, he's waited here 45 minutes for us to get back. I realize there's not a, Michael, did you plan on speaking tonight? Okay, well, we'll give you an extra few minutes. I realized we have 3 minutes. This is,
And this is serious, this is very important. 1998 Committee on in 1998, the Committee on Open Government stated action by a vote of 3-2 by an entity consisting of 9 members was no action. The Committee on Open Government also stated that rules that are inconsistent with the state law, it's General Construction Law, Section 41, were invalid. The committee also stated that a charter provision, if inconsistent with the state law, would be of no effect. The committee also stated that the purpose of Section 41 of the General Construction Law was to ensure that before official action is taken by a public body, there must be clear and express approval by a majority of its total members. To summarize, proposed local law number 2 of Fredonia would be inconsistent with the New York State Section 41 of the General Construction Law, and thus the proposed local law is prohibited by state law. If you enact proposed local law number 2, you will be passing a local law contrary to state law. And keep in mind this, any person appointed to fill a vacancy with only 2 votes from the village board will have a cloud of uncertainty over the validity of his or her appointment. Also, any vote cast by such person on any village matter may very well be challenged as an illegal vote. This is a serious matter to try to change the state law. I know you want to do the right thing. You've taken an oath of office to honor the laws of our state and your duties as trustee to be properly performed. I believe that you do take that oath seriously. I urge you not to enact this proposed local law, which is contrary to state law. I also ask that the official minutes of this meeting reflect that I urge this board not to adopt proposed local law number 2. At least give it more thought, but it's illegal, in my opinion. You would be doing a great disservice to our village by enacting that local law. It's contrary to state law. You shouldn't be doing it. Thank you, Mayor and Board, for the time you gave me.
no problem. Thank you. It's important to hear from the public, and if we just have one person, we're still hearing from the public. Thank you. So if there's no other...
Was there an opinion given by the attorney, the village attorney? Did you get a written opinion regarding this law?
I don't know at this point. I'm sorry. I haven't. All right. Thank you, Sam. If there's no other public comment, I will close the public portion. We have correspondence, please.
Correspondence was received from the Chadwick Bay Regional Development Corporation requesting 2021 annual membership dues, municipal dues.
Be it resolved that the membership renewal dues of $1,600 for the Chadwick Bay Regional Development Corporation municipal dues is hereby approved. Correspondence, oh, that's you, sorry.
Nope, that's the next one.
You have to
Second.
vote, okay.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
Correspondence was received from Bill Matson requesting permission to hold the Children of Opioid Parents and Empowerment Remembrance Walk on September 25th, 2021 at noon.
Be it resolved at the request of Bill Madison to hold the Children of Opioid Parents and Empowerment Walk to remember on September 25th, 2021 at noon is hereby approved, and be it further resolved that the route that they will be walking will start at Madison Street and proceed through SUNY Fredonia campus and continue to the Family Martial Arts Center and end up at the Dunkirk Pier. They will comply with all traffic laws using sidewalks and traffic signals, and be it further resolved that a certificate of insurance naming the Village of Fredonia as an additional insured in the amount of $1 million will be provided.
That's all.
I'll second that resolution.
Been a motion and a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
Correspondence was received from Thomas Battaglia resigning his position as Recreation Director effective September 12th, 2021.
Be it
To Mayor-
resolved- You want to read it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. To Mayor, Essick, and Village Board, regretfully, I must resign my position as Recreation Director effective September 12, 2021 for personal reasons. It has been an honor to serve my community over the past 9 years in this position, and I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to do so. Respectfully, Thomas Battaglia.
And if we don't vote yes, you can't go, right?
Right. We're not accepting your resignation.
Be it resolved that the resignation of Thomas Battaglia as Recreation Director is hereby accepted with regret, effective September 12th, 2021, and the mayor is hereby authorized to write a letter to Mr. Battaglia thanking him for his service to the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. Tom, I just want to say thank you from behalf of myself and I'm sure the board for your service to the village. You've been a asset and an awesome employee, and we're going to miss you, but where one door closes, another door opens up for you, so you have new opportunities, and we wish you the best. Trustee Linden.
I reiterate that. It's been a pleasure, Tom. Aye.
Trustee Britz.
I too wish you the best of luck. Thank you for all your service. Yes.
Trustee Bashaw.
Tom, we've already spoken. I'm sad to see you go. Thank you for the 9 years. You've done a great job. You will be missed. Yes.
Trustee Johnston.
Yeah, and also, and not just a loss for the village, but also for the town.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Carried. Okay, we'll start with reports. My report for tonight. First, tonight, I would like to welcome all the SUNY Fredonia students back to our village. It's nice to see them back, and we're excited to see the village with increased activity from the students, and we hope that this school year is fantastic for each one of them. On topic of SUNY Fredonia, last week, Cedric Howard from the college dropped off a welcome to Big Blue Country Yard sign and a framed athletic shirt to be placed in the village hall. This new marketing initiative for the college hopes to increase the visibility of SUNY Fredonia in the places where our students and employees eat and shop in our community. I fully support their efforts and have placed a yard sign in my office window, and we'll see that the athletic jersey is placed in our building as well. We are partners with SUNY Fredonia and the City of Dunkirk and welcome our college students to our businesses here. The next Central Connection bike ride will be held on August 31st starting at 6 p.m. We will assemble on Church Street area and travel down Temple Street through our college and exit the college on Central Avenue, which will take all the way to the pier, hoping to stop at the Big Dipper for all interested riders and end at the Dunkirk Pier. Since it's going through the college, we hope to include some additional riders from our college community. As always, there's no registration. The ride is free, and we strongly encourage helmets and hydration. That's important for the riders to bring a bottle of water. Hope you can join us. It's that Tuesday at 6. Tonight, I want to report that all the debris has been removed from the Forest Place site, that there was a fire there and it had to be emergency demolished. The building debris left from a fire many months ago has now been removed, and it's just about to be finished, cleaned up there. I guess I spoke to Chuck, and Chuck said all they needed was some backfill, and it should be all taken care of. Next, the farmers market change in location to Water Street seemed to go well this past Saturday, and it was reported to me that there were many students and regular shoppers here. So until the construction's over, I just want to remind everybody that the farmers market has changed its location to the municipal parking lot on Water Street, and please patronize all our local farmers and businesses. A reminder about the upcoming Farm Festival that will be held at the Chautauqua County Fairgrounds on Central Avenue in Dunkirk this year, while we continue to complete the construction surrounding our Barker Common parks. The festival starts at noon at the fairgrounds and extends through the weekend with lots of arts and crafts, music, and food, just to name a few items. The festival will conclude on Sunday afternoon. I want to encourage all of you to stop by the festival. I want to let you know that our construction will be completed here in Barker Common in October, so we can return the activities to the center of our village real soon. In regards to the 3 proposed local laws, I just want, a question I have for the board is, what's the board's current motive for pushing this charter changes through expeditiously? I think the public really needs to know what the rush on this is. So I will move forward with the trustee committee reports. Trustee Linden.
I just have one thing. as part of the Siemens project, we're getting the upgraded lights to LED for our downtown and our throughout the community for the saving costs and improved lighting. And I believe all trustees received a letter from Dr. Grady and Dr. Dunham from the physics department from the campus. And there was a letter in today's article in today's newspaper about the opening of the campus. And in that letter, it said that the campus, the SUNY campus, was installing more and additional new lighting and upgrading of the current lighting throughout the campus with LED lights, just like we are. So I would hope that maybe we could help maybe get some indication from the campus as far as when we do the sample lighting. Maybe we could work with that, the sample lighting, to be similar to what the campus is using, because I would think that the campus is using appropriate lighting that would be approved by the physics department. So anyhow, it was just a thought I had. I wanted to share it because it was in today's news. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Britz?
Under the fire committee, I had a talk with the chief just recently. They're starting to put together a committee to possibly look at a ladder truck in the near future, or a new tower truck in the near future. Apparently our tower truck failed its drift test. It's going to be sent back to Corfu to have some work done. It could have a cost up to $5,000, but due to the age and condition of our truck, they would like to put a committee together to start looking into possibly purchasing a vehicle in the near future. And I told them this would be an opportunity that would be good to start planning ahead a little bit, so in the next couple of years when we need to replace that vehicle, the board can have decisions at that time. Under the Code Enforcement Committee, Mayor Essick already touched base on the house being removed on Forest Place, and my Festivals Committee, the mayor also touched on the Farm Festival coming up this weekend. That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Britz. Trustee Bashaw?
Yes, I spoke with Tom recently in regard to his replacement, and there will be a advertisement in the paper for a recreation director this week, and we hope to have some interviews set up before his departure so that he can participate or have some input into those, and so that we have someone in place. And Tom has also offered to be available via phone for any help or guidance for anyone who takes his place. So just so the public knows, there will be a position advertised in the paper for a recreation director. I do want to comment on the question, I think, posed by the mayor in regard to expedition of the local laws that we have been talking about the last couple of weeks. And I just want to say that this has been a timely matter. Many of these concerns and questions began almost a year ago with the death of our trustee, and then the resignation of another trustee. Also came up with when there were some very concerning health matters regarding our mayor. And I think that those all started these conversations that have been ongoing for 10 months. And it took our attorneys 4 months to develop resolutions for us to consider regarding local laws. So this has not been an expeditious or very short matter, and it has been given a lot of thought and conversation. We have allowed the public to have input both here and in social media, and it will continue, as I'm sure we all are aware, and we will value the process and move on. Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Trustee Bashaw. Trustee Johnston?
I don't have anything this evening.
Thank you. Additional reports? Ann, do you have anything from the clerk's
I do not.
office?
Thank you.
Thank you. Alyssa, are you on with the treasurer? Do you have anything with the treasurer? No? Okay. All right, not a problem. Okay, we'll move on to resolutions.
I'm going to table that.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to table this resolution.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to table this first resolution. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
On this resolution, the very last sentence where it says reasonable modifications thereof so that the overall energy project may proceed. Modifications normally modifications run by the board first before. So can we just leave that last?
The attorney,
I can't,
we can't hear you, Jim.
we
Can you
can't
speak
hear you,
up?
Jim.
I'm sorry. The very last sentence, the very last portion where it says, or reasonable modifications thereof so that the overall energy project may proceed. It's authorizing the mayor to make, agree to modifications. Is that something that I would like that not on there, because it's a contract with expectations. I don't, usually the board decides on of modifications, and if there's any, I know the project's not supposed to have any cost to us, but usually there's modifications. I don't know what that intent is there for. Could we leave that off?
Can we modify that from a reasonable to approved?
Well, they would have to be approved.
So
I
that
mean,
verbiage change, would that,
Well, it just, all it
Suffice.
would be is hereby authorized and directed to execute the separate contracts for Niagara Mohawk and the National Grid. And just leave it at that.
You can strike that.
Okay.
Just strike the,
strike
yeah,
that.
that last,
Strike the whole
strike the last part.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So, I motion to amend the resolution to strike that last sentence.
I'll second that.
there's been a motion to amend,
The end of that last sentence, because it would be.
Sure.
motion to amend the end of the last sentence or reasonable modifications thereof so that the overall energy project may proceed to be stricken from that resolution. There's been a motion and a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
Okay. Whereas the village has undertaken a project to save energy costs through the purchase and upgrading of the streetlights currently owned by Niagara Mohawk and other energy-saving measures to be performed by Siemens Industry Incorporated of 85 North Point Parkway, Suite 8, Amherst, New York. And whereas the village and Niagara Mohawk have negotiated contracts for the purchase of existing streetlights and the continued use and connection to Niagara Mohawk's electric facilities. And whereas the village and Siemens Industries, Inc. have negotiated for the performance of various energy savings work and the financing of same, and whereas the form of the draft contracts has been reviewed and approved by the village board. Therefore, be it resolved, the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute the separate contracts with Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation, DBA National Grid, and Siemens Industry, Inc.
Second?
Been a motion and a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried as amended.
I propose a motion to table this resolution.
I second that.
A motion to propose the following resolution with a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
And I move to table the next resolution for purpose of review, revision, and, yes, I motion to table.
Okay, can I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
There's been a motion and a second to table this resolution. Trustee Linden?
Aye. I don't think we noted what they are. With the first one that we tabled was local law number 2, and this was local law number 3 that we're tabling. Aye.
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Thank you. Both local laws have been
Be it
tabled.
resolved that Dalton Gardner of 9 George's Place, Fredonia, New York, is hereby hired as a full-time laborer to work for the Department of Public Works at an hourly rate of $16.16 and a 6-month probationary period effective September 7th, 2021.
Second?
A motion and a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
I have a quick question on this next one. At the workshop, I asked if there was any contribution that had to be made by the village, or is this a grant that would be?
I don't know.
I asked if there would be.
Alyssa checked into it. The grant is given directly to the village, and it's to be used for specific items with the court, and there are no matching.
No matching.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Thank you. Be it resolved that the Board of the Village of Fredonia authorize the Village of Fredonia Court to apply for a JCAP grant in the 2021-2022 grant cycle for up to $5,000.
I second that.
There's been a motion and a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried.
Be it resolved that due to the construction of the Village of Fredonia's downtown streetscape project, the Fredonia Farmers Market will be temporarily relocated to the Water Street lot, just south of Canada Way Street Bridge, until such time as the board deems it safe and appropriate to return to Barker Common.
Second?
There's been a motion and a second. Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Britz?
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw?
Yes.
Trustee Johnston?
Yes.
Carried. This next resolution here, does it want to be, do you want to amend it to affirmative vote of a supermajority vote of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia?
No, I think it says resolved by the affirmative vote of not less than the majority of the total voting.
I know what it says. Would the board wish to amend it? That's the question I'm asking.
I'm saying no. So
Okay.
whoever else wants to respond, I vote no.
I agree. It should be a supermajority vote, just like the original was.
That's
had.
that's law. By
Right.
bonding, you have to have a supermajority. It's not up for a question, but if you want to,
Anne Marie, who
but I also
provided this?
Don't agree with it, so.
Doug Goodfriend.
Sorry?
Mr. Doug Goodfriend from OR.
From the bonding?
Yes, he provides them all to us.
Yes.
okay.
And
Well, Trustee Britz, what's your...
also this funding is requested to go up. Is this above the that I forget what you call it, at the amount that had
Our
set
treasurer
aside?
is on. Our treasurer is on.
Alyssa? Did you? Would you explain why we're bonding the amount? I'm sorry, go ahead. What are we bonding?
So the 2.3 million is what was originally already adopted in the resolutions. The 34,254 is additional fees because we spent everything in that budget already. That's the additional fees for bonding with EFC.
This is what they're, for fees that they're currently requesting that we don't have money for.
Right.
And this was amounts that were in question, and that I thought that we're supposed to wait till the end to figure out, so, okay, go ahead. I mean, I see it's here, but.
Okay, so that's a question, so you answered that. So if the board does not want to amend that resolution, we'll just move forward?
Well, what was the amendment just to make it a supermajority instead of a majority?
That's correct.
And that's what's required?
Well, a citizen has recommended that.
That's a supermajority
So let's
vote.
just add one word. What's the big deal?
Why are we
That's-
acting
well-
on a citizen's recommendation? I think if we're gonna ask, we should ask our legal counsel.
Well, then-
Or we
Well-
should, but we have to
Or-
remember that this was provided to us by the bonding company. So,
But they did, you would think that they would know it would require a
well, if it's law,
supermajority
it's law.
vote.
I think it's a majority.
Maybe it was
I
a
think
typographical error. I don't know.
Well,
I'm just
then-
saying that we know what the law is. The law is for bonds, you have to have a supermajority.
You know that for sure?
I know that for sure, because that's the way we've always voted in the past. It's been a supermajority. You need 4 out of 5 of the trustees. In this case, you need 4 of all you to vote in favor of it. It's a 4 of the 5 of the entire board.
And,
Well, it's just one word,
and-
let's change it.
Okay?
and
I'll
Alyssa,
make a motion to change it.
and Alyssa, if this does not pass for some reason, what issue might come of it?
This is going to hold up our bond for the water treatment plant that we're supposed to get, that we've been paying out of our water fund balance, because their EFC is meeting this week to go over this one.
Any other questions for Alyssa?
So,
We
and
tabled,
if we don't use this, and if we don't, if we have this, can we cancel it, or if we don't approve the spending of this money, it's just, all it is making it available to spend?
That's correct. We don't necessarily have to use it at all.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Are there any other questions for Alyssa before we move forward? So would you like to make a motion to amend
Yes.
the resolution to, by affirmative vote of a supermajority vote of the Board of Trustees of Village of Fredonia? Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second to that?
I second that.
Is there a motion, and a second to amend the current resolution with that language? Trustee Linden,
Aye.
Trustee Britz.
yes.
Trustee Bashaw,
No, not necessary.
Trustee Johnston.
Yes.
Carried. I have a motion to, for this resolution with the, well, actually,
Do I need to read it?
yes, you
You would
read it,
have to
please.
read
Read
it,
it,
but
please,
but you're reading it
as an amendment.
as an
Amended.
as a resolution with just the, a majority of votes, not the supermajority.
No,
And,
we just passed that.
no,
Passed it.
Who
I thought
passed?
you
Only
said
one
no.
person said no.
No, you
Okay.
passed to, you made a resolution to
okay,
amend
that,
it.
so that part did pass. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Okay,
the
I'm
amendment
sorry.
now has to be passed by a supermajority of the board.
That's correct.
And that
As
amendment
amended.
didn't have to happen unless one of us was gonna vote no on the whole thing. So
Okay, go ahead.
that's
One
my
word.
point.
Yes, go ahead.
The wording
okay.
doesn't need to be there.
Okay. A resolution supplementing a bond resolution dated and duly adopted on November 4, 2019 of said village. Whereas all conditions precedent to the financing of the capital project hereinafter described, including compliance with the provisions of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, has been performed. And whereas on November 4th, 2019, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia, Chautauqua County, New York, the village, duly adopted a bond resolution to finance the cost of the reconstruction of and improvements to elements of the water treatment and distribution facilities in and for said village, a specific object or purpose at a revised maximum estimated cost of $2,300,000 with an additional $700,000 bond therein authorized to be issued therefore. And whereas the maximum estimated cost of the project has increased to $2,334,254, an increase of $34,254 for the project. And whereas it is desirable to set forth the overall sources of funding for said project, now therefore be it resolved by the affirmative vote of not less than a supermajority of the total voting strength of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia, Chautauqua, New York, this bond is approved.
Can I have a second on that? She doesn't want a second.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second for this amended resolution. Trustee Linden,
Aye.
Trustee Britz.
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw,
Yes.
Trustee Johnston.
Yes.
Carried, thank you.
Be it resolved that the request of the Festivals Fredonia to use the gazebo in Barker Commons Friday, September 10th, I don't know about that, but, and September 11th, annual Red, White, and Blues Festival and the 9/11 Motorcycle Memorial Run is hereby approved and set forth below. Do you want me to read the entire
I don't,
activities?
You don't want to read the entire activities?
No, I do not.
Okay.
We respectfully request that the Fredonia Police Department set up their lighted sign to warn pedestrian traffic on Main Street near Prospect Street on Friday and near Water Street on Saturday. Additionally, we request the parking meters on Main Street in front of the western part of Barker Common and between Water Street and Forest Place for the purpose of locating craft and wine vendors. Be it further resolved that the event is subject to the village receiving a certificate of insurance in the amount of $1 million, naming the village as an additional insured, and subject to the discretion of the Fredonia Police Department.
I second all that was read and not read.
Trustee Linden.
Aye.
Trustee Britz.
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw.
Yes.
Trustee Johnston.
Yes.
Carried.
Where's that one?
Meeting schedule. Next Village of Fredonia Board meeting will take place on Tuesday, September 7th, 2021 at 7:30 PM in the trustees.
We
There's
have
one-
another
oh, one more
resolution.
There's one more resolution.
I don't have that. Okay.
What is?
We have another resolution.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, that was the official bond, okay. Whereas the village previously retained Lakeshore Paving, Jamestown, New York for a placemaker project, and whereas change order number 001 has been requested due to the additional cost of larger catch basins. And whereas Lakeshore Paving has requested an additional $10,727.11 to perform such services, therefore be it resolved, the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to approve change order number 001 in the amount of $10,727.11.
Is there a second to that? And sometime if I get a copy of that resolution, please.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second. Trustee Linden.
Aye.
Trustee Britz.
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw. Trustee Bashaw.
Yes. I'm really having a hard time with these change orders that have already begun. I will vote yes on this because I don't want to delay the project, but I do want to warn our engineers and our contractors that change orders occurring within the first 3 days of the project are unacceptable to us and shows us that the project was not fully vetted or planned well, and we hope and anticipate that we won't receive many of these in the future. Yes.
Okay. Trustee Johnston.
Yes.
Carried. Are there any other resolutions? Anything good, anything for the good of the order?
Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
There's been a motion to adjourn in a second. Trustee Linden.
Aye.
Trustee Britz.
Yes.
Trustee Bashaw.
Yes.
Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Carried. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.